That is a whole lot of black crappie. Hello everybody. Happy New Year. Happy start of 2024. This is Mickey Melanciano over at Forbitten Baits. And we are going to be doing a little bit of this here. Some black crappie today. Just to give you a little update, I am working on a collaboration with the boys over at Dark Horse Tackle, Zach and Josh. And this is one of the runs for one of the patterns that's going to be coming out in the February edition of Dark Horse Tackle. So that's some good news, a good start to the year. So far, we've been slinging a whole lot of paint here. I've been busy boy, and to show you what we're working with here, pretty much just a simple black crappie. You're gonna find there's not an ounce of purple, magenta, none of that. Just your basic dirty water black crappie. A lot of highlight on the darkness. I also did some tweaking on the yellow behind the scenes. Let's just grab something a little bit bigger to show you, a little bit bigger canvas. I should have it here. There we go. So here, got it on the S crank. A little bit bigger canvas. So what you see is a lot of black over the shoulders, and then it fades to your crappie pattern and a nice pearl white belly. Nothing too crazy. I'll show you how we get there in a few minutes. To give you a little bit of a shop update, this is what we've been doing, working on our stock. First and foremost, the first thing I want to say, right now the shop is down, the website is down, and that's obviously because I have a ton of work ahead of me. Some restocking, a little bit of website rebuilding or restoration, whatever you want to call it, and mostly just painting. Right now there's pretty much all I have the time for. We do have a big section of repaints coming. We got Bagleys everywhere from top water to your B1s, your B2s, your flats, your Pro Sunnies. I might do those in a set, I'm not sure yet. We got some 6 Cents products here. We've got some Bandits. We got some Bombers. Definitely got some Spro Chads. And these, I'm excited about these guys. So we got the mini mags by 6 Cents and the mags. Got some Booyah pranks here. I'm very, very excited about these, especially just to fish myself. Bait I've been after for a little while, some Booyah pranks. We've got Excaliburs, so these are dope. I got a ton of these, and actually look, here we go, some black crappie. I went ahead and did a little bit of this, I want to say a couple weeks back, just warming up for all these runs. And yeah, I'm going to be offering repaints straight from the box. You'll get a decal inside, you'll get the bait, and yeah, official boxing, official everything. So I actually got those in sets. I got some spooks in sets where just do the whole thing here myself. Everything is deconstructed. I get them in some fun packs. Here we go. And yeah, hopefully this little section here is going to be filled soon. That's just pretty much everything that's been going on. Got a whole bunch of painting to do. Got some replicas in as well. Everything is just filled to the brim right now. Right now my only focus though is pretty much getting the Dark Horse stuff out, which I will, I want to say confidently, in the next week or so, maybe 10 days or more. Yeah, that's it. That's the update I got for you. Let's get painting. All right, we're all mounted up on our slat and we're ready to begin. The bait that I chose to paint this pattern on, since I wanted a pretty big canvas, I picked up one of the mini mags I had on the wall. Again, I'm very eager to work with this bait, so let's pluck one, let's work with one. And what I did was I went ahead and took off the hooks, the hardware, the eyes. I sanded it down a little bit, and then I just primed it black. The reason why I like to prime repaints black is because that certainly will give you a blank canvas to start out with. And then if you want to go ahead and prime in white, how I'm going to do now, or a secondary prime in white, you could do that. And we're going to go ahead and prime with golden titanium white. I've moved over to this as a primer for me. I just like it more. I use it sometimes as not a primer. You can thin it down. I've already pre-thinned my bottle. Use a reducer to your liking. And the reason why I'm just showing you this is because I didn't want you to go ahead and skip the black priming. There is a method to the madness there with the black priming. Like I said, you know, it just hides a little bit more what's underneath. If you were to go straight up with the white, what would happen is if you had something dark color, or let's say like a shad dot, you're definitely going to see that. You'd have to go coat after coat after coat with the white, as opposed to maybe just one or two. One difference that I do notice is that if you do go black before, and sometimes I do this intentionally after stumbling upon it accidentally, is it will make your bait a darker tone no matter what. Especially, oh, a little bit out of paint here, so add a little bit more. So like I was saying, especially if it's a bait that's a little bit darker or meant to be darker, you can use that in your game plan. Just go black as a pre-primer and then prime out in white. And since we're going black crappie here, yep, that's the deal. So we're all primed up in white, and next step will be our pearl silver, and I'll be right back with a clean gun. All right, our next color is going to be our Createx straight up pearl silver. Seems like I might be skipping a step, especially knowing that I'm going to do the pearl white underneath, but there's a method to the madness. For now, let's just tack on this pearl silver, and I'm going to want this on the sides and then predominantly on the belly and headed towards the tail. So first I'm just going to blast it over the sides here. And you can do it just general blasting. We're still doing what I consider basing. Oh, we got a little speck there. Get that off real quick. If you ever find yourself in this situation right here, where you have a speck and you go in to take it out and you accidentally scratch the bait, just take whatever color you were just using beforehand, dot it on right with your X-Acto knife. But all right, just tack on that pearl silver. Make sure you get it around the belly and stuff. Oh boy. So before you finish, you take the bait, just put it upside down. Make sure you got a nice even spray. And like I said, we want it a little bit more predominant around the belly, or rather where the sides meet the belly. That's it. It'll pop later. We're still doing base work. So our next color is going to be golden, green gold. I've really grown an affinity for this color, just how I like the FW sepia. That's become another key color of mine. What we're going to do here is just haze on very lightly. This is a very strong color that goes actually from like a yellow to a gold to a green, but it comes on strong. We're gonna go haze it on very lightly at an angle, trying to work from the upper portion of the bait, from the top of the shoulders to about the midsection here where the lateral line is. And yeah, here we go. By the way, I'm shooting at about 40 right now. This stuff is a little bit thicker, and I'll give you an example of what I mean. It'll come on yellow and then viciously get green right away. Light and yellow, but then you leave it there for a second and boom, you see what happens? So carefully, you're just gonna try to stick to about the lateral line. If you go a little bit lower, that's fine, and boom, come up off of it. Where the shad dot would be, if you want to leave it just a little bit more predominant, you can do that. It's a good look, especially if you're going to be playing effects with the bait later on. Just go ahead on the other side, establish yourself, and just go in reverse. What I should have done was work from the tail forward, but that's okay. If you have an even hand, just double check. Like this one might be a smidge brighter than this side, so this is what I should have just done in the first place. Yeah, about nice and even there. And because we did that at an angle, that's exactly how you see the yellow coming off. A little stronger from the top, and it fades as you get lower. So perfect. We're done with that step there. So we're only 4 steps in. We only have 3 more left to go. Simple pattern, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So now we're gonna take our bait. I'm gonna make sure you're putting it down on a nice clean surface. If you can, paper towel, lay one down. I don't know why I just said that like Yoda, but whatever. Then you're gonna grab your stencil, preferably if you can already on a hoop. This is the way that this pattern just shakes out to work. And I'm gonna set this at an angle, and what I'm gonna do is spray from the top of the shoulders down toward the belly of the bait using Wicked Pearl Black. And this is an amazing color, I mean, I bought 1 bottle of this, and this is like my 4th bottle, and I'm about to crack open my 5th in a short amount of time. Make sure you have all the crusts off, especially if you're a violent bottle shaker like me. That tends to happen. And all right, don't want to load too much, and we'll keep it there, because even though there's a pearl, oh sorry guys, even though there's a pearl, it's a pretty thick pearl. I mean, it's got a lot of flake in it. Establish your spray, bam. Make sure you have your stencil, whatever stencil you're using, you know, just make sure you have it at the angle you want it at. You're set, and establish your spray. Boom, start spraying from the tail of the bait. You don't want to spray too heavy, but you want to get a nice even coat, maybe a little bit darker towards the top of the bait. Make sure you do touch the belly. Bam. See, that's what we should come out with, from the tail of the bait to the eyelids, or the eye sockets rather. And then, you know, you can see it, especially bumping through the yellow, but then it fades down toward the belly. And this is why I left a little bit stronger coating of the pearl silver on the belly, is because now the fading is going to play hand in hand with that stronger pearl silver that you see there. And we'll come back to the belly outright and finish that off after we finish up this little stencil work here. Again, just line up your bait at the proper angle. And the hoop, guys, this helps a lot. This helps a ton. Just go ahead and start out from the shoulder of the bait, working your way towards the back. And I'd say go toward, again, like where the lateral line is, and then just let the angle of what you're shooting at. That came out a tad bit light. I can go back in though, no worries. If you can find where you had your bait lined up, perfect. If not, no biggie. It might be harder on a stencil like this, but usually you can find it if you wiggle it around for a second or two. Try to fit the pieces to the puzzle. I don't want to waste too much time, so I'll just lightly go in there, and there we go. Boom. That's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Still maybe just a tad bit darker here. There we go. Try to do the same thing you do on one side to the other side. So I have the tail dark on both ends here. You know, even though this is what you would consider a wild pattern, no crappie pattern is the same. No two crappies are the same. But for congruency's sake, you know, just try to do, in a general sense of the word, a little bit of matching, if you will. And that's it. That's what we did there with the stencil work. We're done with the stencil work. Now you come right in. Let me blast this up just a tiny bit. And then you're going to use the same color, the Wicked Pearl Black, to go in on eyes. Before I do that, make sure my tip is clean. You don't want any spitting from your gun right now. Darken up those sockets. Okay, and then we're just gonna come over that center line of the bait. Also try to spray at an angle. If you can leave the very tip of the nose just bare white, or with just a little bit of the pearl black, then you've done your job there. It makes it look a little bit more lifelike. This is a big bait here, so we got to make sure we get every last little bit. Then we can stop right there. It's black crappie. I will, after this step, I'll show you exactly what I'm going for, and I'll do it first. Should be good right there. Try to come down on the shoulders, just like that, again at an angle. We're going to be covering up a lot of this yellow. We're going to try to keep the fade over the lateral line, way over the lateral line. It will definitely make your bait look more lifelike, more natural. Because again, we're going for that dark, dirty water crappie. Not your clear water crappie that's got the magenta on it and all that. No, that's a nice pattern, yeah. But we're just going for your nice, dirty water crappie. That looks about right to me. A smidge more on the tail. Smidge more on this tail here. And go back here. Make sure you darken that up there. If you can, get a fade going right on the tail too. And yeah, that's looking proper. That's looking very proper. I think we might be done there. Leave that nose and that mouth white. What I do like, let's come in a little bit closer and get some overspray right on the lip there. The clear coat will make that pop a little bit more. There we go. Bam. So now I'll meet you for the next step. Just let that dry for a second. All right, bam. All right, make sure you guys have a nice good view still. Let me see. Make that a little worse maybe. There we go. All right, so what we are gonna be doing is, where's the pearl white? Grab that wicked pearl white. Make sure your gun's clean, ready to go. Now we're gonna blast the belly. So you could actually even start out with the snout. Just turn your bait upside down. Whoa. Looks like it wasn't that clean right away. There we go. Must have been at the very tip. Anyway, so start spraying from your snout. And then you'll go grabbing your chest, flip your bait, and just go on down that belly. That pearl white is going to blend beautifully with the pearl silver, and it's going to really make your bait jump from underneath. Now you see that nice transition. We're going from pearl white to pearl silver to lace with pearl. Then underneath you got the yellow, which pops as well, and then like a deafening blackness. However, it sparkles. I really love wicked pearl black. It's just one that jumps, especially once we clear coat this. You're gonna see it pop even more. Give that snout another touch. Make sure it's good at 360. Same thing again, just a second hand. Maybe angle the bait and hit it from bill to tail on both sides. And then make sure you get the very bottom of the back of the tail of the bait. And that's gonna pretty much do her. Yeah, nice little fade. If you also want, you can just blast it. Nice little general blast, and what that's going to do is just add depth to the bait, give it some more sparkle. Yeah, you should be off to the races now. It's looking nice. Make sure it's nice and even. If you want to let it jump a little bit more, you can. By the tail. Yep. That is pretty much going to conclude us there. All that sparkle will come out later on. And since we're so close, what else do we have to do? Looks like we just got to slap on the eyes, UVLS, and clear. I'll be right back. Cool, so I moved things along a little bit and I put the eyes right back in place. Those are nice eyes. You know, 6th Sense does a nice job, but what kind of custom paint job would this be without touching the eyes up a little bit? We are gonna go ahead and cover these nice eyes up and darken them up, basically. Nothing too crazy this go around. Our bait is almost done. We're just going to use a little bit of transparent black by Createx. Make sure So no water in our gun. Wow, I overdid it there for the smidge I'm about to use. Anyway, so I'm just gonna darken up the eye, try to keep off the eye socket if you can. Just try to stay on the eye itself, and yeah, just blast away. You gotta creep up on it, and what you might do is end up getting clogs, but really try to ease up on there. See, try to avoid that right there. Sorry guys, we're back. I had overheating issues. Also, I had hunger issues, so I cured that with a ribeye. But for all intents and purposes, this bait is done. And as far as we're gonna take it tonight is a little bit of pre-clear coat, little system I got with just some top coat and then some UVLS clear, which I'm doing now. Signed the bait. I did that on the chest. I've been signing the chest lately a lot. I used to do the bill. Occasionally I will still. There we go. And then just wet that bill up again. Nice and wet. Let that dry. Then I'm just gonna come back in again with the UVLS. Hit that one last, ooh, we're good. Hit that one last time with the UVLS, and that's it. Give it a little clear coat, and we'll check back in with you and the bait in the morning. All right, everybody, see you later. You got it. Good morning, guys. So we are back in the shop. Oh, my cell phone off my butt, and we're all done here. Let's see what we got. We did a black crappie pattern. You see those nice crappie spots, extenuated but faded by the time we get to the belly. And we've got that silver, nice and extenuated to a point on the tail. Same thing on this side, you see that flash there. And this bait is a kind of optics bait, as I like to call it. All the angles and stuff that you spray at. Baits like this excel in clear water, especially silent baits. So yeah, that's what we have. I'm gonna take some nice shots of this bad boy right here, and we are pretty much done. Just to give you a heads up, the next video I'm doing throwback shiner and wounded throwback shiner. As I continue with my dark horse run, so I'm gonna do a video on these two. Probably just get them both done in the same shot. Give you a look at the wounded. I go heavy. The way I do blood spatter. Some would say I go a little bit heavy. I'm going a little bit lighter these days. Let's see if I can get you a good shot. But yeah, this is what we will be doing on the next video. So you guys know what's up. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining us this time around. This is Mickey Melanciano over at Forbitten Baits, and we'll catch you next time. Till next time. Oh, Again, just a quick reminder, guys. Remember, the shop is closed down and will be until the February drops of both Dark Horse Tackle, and I guess I'm doing a major drop myself. So bear with me, everyone hitting me up on social. That drop is coming soon. Thank you, guys. Take care.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy, and silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I